So, quick recap from the past few weeks. We had Earthday 2021, and there were announcements from the US, Canada, Japan, UK. In the UK, we had Boris Johnson saying that climate action is not politically correct bunny hugging. Greta Thunberg immediately changed her bio to bunny hugger. Also, Boris said, I'm not saying any of this is going to be easy. In the United States, we have President Joe Biden cutting emissions by 50 to 52% by 2030. Mind you, this is from 2005 levels, but he is supported by major companies. Apple, Johnson & Johnson, Walmart Incorporated, all have endorsed his target. In Japan, we have Prime Minister Yoshihide cutting emissions to 46% by 2030. And Brazil, President Jair Bolsonaro, he's mentioning emissions neutrality in 29 years, 2050, also promising to end illegal deforestation, not tomorrow, no, by 2030. In China, we have Xi saying net zero emissions in 39 years by 2060, and Australia is saying no net zero target. This has to be done through technology that enables and transforms our industries, not taxes that eliminate them and the jobs and the livelihoods they create. Talking about this, Greta Thunberg sent leaders a stern warning before the summit about bullshit. And Greenpeace said that targets on their own will not lead to emissions cuts. That takes real policy and money. Article from Newsweek about Prince Harry paying tribute to Prince Philip as conservation champion. This on Earth Day, also almost 2 weeks ago, highlighting his work for the environment. Prince Philip, who passed away on the 9th of April, he helped found the Worldwide Fund for Nature, that's the WWF. He did so in 1961. Furthermore, he spoke out publicly on numerous occasions about the importance of protecting the planet and wildlife. Now, the Duke of Sussex himself is now president of African Parks, which is a non-profit safeguarding Africa's biodiversity. They do so by preventing poaching and the wildlife trade, and hereby they're protecting species, our global health and well-being. His father, Prince Charles, also very much involved with the planet. For one, he's protecting rainforest. He is patron of the Iwokrama rainforest in Guyana. I did an interview with the CEO, Dane Gobbin, last year. I'll put a link below so you can still listen to that. But all in all, the royal family here in the UK is doing a fantastic job attaching their name and putting a lot of effort in protecting the planet. Next article from undp.org, talking about Paraguay, first to adopt SDG bonds in its national regulation. This resolution categorizes SDG bonds as those debt instruments that finance projects with green, social, or sustainable goals or measurable impacts, the latter contributing to both environmental and sustainable impact. And my fiance is from Paraguay, and I thought I might mention this. Article from News Medical. They are asking, how is climate change impacting our health? Their conclusion is that climate change is a universal health problem. Next article from the past 2 weeks was from The Guardian. They are talking about interest in low carbon living, and they say pledges not to fly. This was actually quite high before the pandemic. They say that after lockdown, we must not allow climate action to fall off the radar. Articles by Anna from Flight 3 UK. I did a podcast with Anna last year. I'll put a link below once more so you can once again still listen to that. Also very much in the news is the UK government. They are talking about a vaccination of children, and CIA in India is calling this the next big ethical debate. Obviously, UK is recovering very nicely at the moment from COVID-19, the pandemic. Euronews is talking about vaccine tourism, which European travel companies are offering such trips. We have Matador Network talking about the Maldives, giving vaccines to tourists upon arrival. They rely very heavily on tourism for the economy. They have a target for this year 1.5 tourist arrivals, 10 million beds, all for this year. Obviously, there's a lot of ethical concerns as well. Al Jazeera is talking about that. Why are people crossing borders for a jab? The article says some are traveling for inoculations, arguing that they are protecting others. Experts, however, have raised serious ethical concerns. Now, another article here talking about climate change risks flushing away global progress on sanitation. The article mentions over 2 billion people still lack access to basic sanitation facilities, and this will allow diseases to thrive and damage the health of those young and old. As a matter of fact, the UN, their figures, they estimate it's about 2.5 billion people without access to an adequate toilet. Past year and COVID-19 has reminded us how essential good hygiene, clean water really is. I should say what shocked me personally is that in Africa, more than 315,000 children die annually. This is from diarrheal diseases, and that comes directly from a lack of sanitation. I asked Jack Sim about this. He is the founder of the World Toilet Organization and the United Nations World Toilet Day Initiative. He had a lot of things to say about this, also what really we should not forget once this pandemic has blown over.
I think that COVID is itself a hygiene issue. We want to keep this high level of hygiene awareness of washing hands even after COVID is over, because 50% of all diseases in the hospital in a developing country is caused by not washing hands. And if you don't wash your hands is always dirty because you're touching all kind of places. Then you're touching your face, your nose, your mouth, your eyes, and the way is so invisibly transmit into your body is really serious. So this time, let's not forget. Let's tell our children, keep the habit and keep ourselves safe.